Hi bloggers, happy Monday. My name is Sarah Jackman. I'm the writer of Sleeping with the Material World, and I wanted to post a special video today about my last video that I posted actually. And the reason being is, well, the last video I'll explain a little bit to you. Just to sum it up, I talked about a gentleman who manipulated me into coming to his hotel room, making me think I had a part in a movie, and had me sign a bunch of stuff, tried to get me to drink some champagne, convinced me to do a few things that made me very uncomfortable, and afterwards I left. I had to leave because I felt so uncomfortable. I cried a bit. It was kind of a strange situation, and I spoke about it very loosely and very casually because I didn't consider it to be what it actually was. And a girlfriend of mine messaged me after she watched the video and told me that was sexual assault and that I should report that guy, and I should definitely say that gentleman's name because he should not be doing that to females. And because it was so well calculated, his efforts, he has probably done this more than once. So that's to sum up the video. And when my girlfriend told me it was sexual assault, at first I thought that's a little dramatic, and then I thought I did feel very uncomfortable in that situation, and I did feel gross afterwards, and I did feel violated. And I thought about it a little bit more. I talked to another girlfriend of mine. She said, Sarah, that's sexual assault. I spoke to my boyfriend about it. He was very upset about someone doing that to me. He agreed that it was also sexual assault. And I realized it was. And the reason I didn't realize that at first is because it's happened so many times. I have normalized it and thought that it was my fault. I got myself in that situation. There's no reason for me to complain about it or report it because it was my fault. So I decided that I would report this incident with this gentleman, this actor I was talking about in my last video. So it was somewhat of an easy process, I guess, in a way. I don't know how it is in other countries, but Toronto is definitely great in the way that I basically Googled a phone number to find out who to speak to about sexual assault and how to report it. I had 2 police officers come the next day to talk to me and take a report. They told me that they take these things very seriously. I told them what happened. They assessed the situation. They even spoke to the chief of their department and had decided that they weren't going to lay charges on this gentleman only because he wasn't physically violent with me and because he didn't physically push himself onto me. Now, they said that something did happen here and his name is going to go on record, so that if he does something like this again in Toronto, his name is on record and it will be brought up again. And honestly, that's the first time I've ever reported anything to do with anything like that. I have been sexually assaulted many times, as I said. I have also, what I like to say I was taken advantage of, but you would call it rape. Most people would call it rape. That's a hard word for me to say. I don't even like saying it when I'm talking about myself, so I would rather say I was taken advantage of. And I'm not laughing because I don't take this seriously. I actually do that when I'm uncomfortable. But I have never reported any of those incidents, and the reason I did that is because I thought it was my fault, and I didn't want to talk about it, and I felt ashamed, and I was embarrassed, and I told no one about it. Didn't want to tell anyone. I actually spoke about one of these incidents in my book, that this blog is about. And I want to stress to females out there, or males even, the important thing to do when these types of things happen, any unwanted sexual advances should be reported. And I want to stress that you need to do it as soon as they happen. The reason being is, this has happened to me many times, and it happened to me in the past, and now I couldn't report anything because I don't have these people's information anymore. Whereas when these things happen, I knew where they lived, I knew their friends, I knew where they hung out, I knew so much about these people because these were so-called friends of mine who did these things to me. And I had so much information and proof, text messages, emails, I had so much information that I could give and as proof, and maybe get the police involved so that they would help to make it so that this wouldn't happen again to someone else later down the road. And the unfortunate thing is that they might have done it again, and I don't know. And I hope that they didn't, of course, or won't. But I mean, if they were willing to do it to me, then I'm sure they're willing to do it to others. And I should have reported it. And I understand that was a stupid thing to do on my part. But I have to tell you that I felt so good afterwards reporting that situation that recently happened to me. And even though it didn't go too far, I still feel like I made a little bit of a ripple. And that's what's important. And I hope that, if he is going to do it again, I hope he doesn't, but if he is going to do it again in Toronto, at the very least, his name will come up again, and they will have information on it, and they are, free to ask me about it down the line, and I am open to speaking about it again. So I just wanted to stress to you, females out there or males, if you're ever taken advantage of in any way sexually, report it. Say something. Tell someone that you trust. And I hope that you can go forward and help it so that it doesn't happen again to someone else. So I just wanted to say thank you, everyone, for listening to me. And I want to say that this is not something to take lightly, and women need to stop being treated like this, and we need to start, sticking up for ourselves. And we are speaking out a lot more now than we have ever, and I'm so grateful, and I'm so happy and proud that we're doing that, and I want us to do it more. So I wanted to say that report it as soon as it happens. Honestly, it will help you get past what has happened to you. It makes you feel so much better, and you have done something. You've helped in some way so that this person might not be able to do it again. And that's what's important. We don't want people like this out there just moving around doing whatever the hell they want, because it's bullshit. So anyways, just wanted to say you're strong and you can do it, and I was able to do it, and it made me feel so much better, and it will be good for you and good for others and good for us as a society. So thank you so much for watching again, and we'll see you next week. Thank you. Bye.